Hi, I'm Natalie Vaughn, and I'm your host of Buying and Selling Michigan Homes. A lot of beautiful properties I'm excited to show you, and also a segment about investment homes. If you've been thinking about being an investor here in Michigan, this is still a great market. So stay tuned. I'm here with Leo Sage Images, the owner, Shalina Cole, and she's going to tell us why it's so important to have professional images on your beautiful homes.
People buy what they see, and it's important to have quality photos to represent your property in the best way possible.
Is there anything else that your company specializes in, Shalina?
Yes, we do headshots, weddings, events, and portraits as well, and we serve all of the Metro Detroit area.
Great. So give Leo Sage a call to get the best image for your beautiful homes. Today I've got as my wonderful guest, Craig Lesko, the broker owner of National Realty Centers. Thank you for being a part of the program today.
Oh, thank you for having me. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, you've got a lot going on here at National Realty Centers. It's one of the largest independent brokerages here in the state of Michigan, which is really exciting.
Yep.
And you know, tell us how you started in the real estate market. Real estate's hot right now in Michigan, the southern region. I mean, buying a house, it's so competitive. You know, agents are fighting to get the bid in, to get the deal done, and it's just a really hot market here in the Detroit metro area. So how did you get started?
I got started, this is 25 years for me in real estate. I originally started with Remerica, which is more of a traditional business model. From there I went to Remax, which is the complete opposite end of the spectrum from Remerica.
Okay.
And then I ended up managing the Keller Williams, Ann Arbor, Dexter and Saline market centers, which is kind of a hybrid in between. But the whole time through that whole process, I was exposed to different business models. But I just always thought that they were a little bit more in favor of the broker, not so much the agent.
Okay.
Hence, I put the National Realty Centers business model together.
So what is a traditional brokerage as compared to National Realty Centers?
So a traditional brokerage, and there are some similarities between us and them.
Okay.
But the biggest difference is the pay structure.
Okay.
So they're collecting anywhere from 30, 40, 50% of the commission from the agents, plus there's franchise fees and all kinds of numerous miscellaneous fees, where we just do a simple flat fee and allow the agents to keep the lion's share of the commission.
Well, I'm sure agents who are looking to do business and make more of their own money, that's an exciting feature.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So how are you normally, I mean, you know, when it comes to any other services, is there any difference in a traditional? I mean, it's not discounting or anything like that.
No,
so.
Nothing along those lines. It's just, well, actually, as far as comparing us to a traditional broker, to a Remerica, Remax, or even a Keller Williams, we offer all the same service and support, technology, education, but we actually leverage technology and we leverage the brick and mortar,
Okay.
and we keep our budget real lean.
Okay.
And that allows us to offer the commission splits that we do.
Okay.
So,
Right. I've talked to a couple of the agents, and they're very, very impressed with not only the commission structure, but also the support that your company gives.
yep.
You know,
Yep.
there doesn't seem to be, as the agents that I've been able to interview, there doesn't seem to be any lack in that support, which is really exciting because a lot of other firms don't offer that.
Right, and that's a big key, and that's one of the big things that separates us. One of the agents said it to me, and I thought she said it real well the other day. She said it was the commission schedule that was kind of that shiny object that attracted her to National Realty Centers, but she stayed all these years because of the service and support.
I'm here with Leo Sage Images, the owner, Shalina Cole, and she's going to tell us why it's so important to have professional images on your beautiful homes.
People buy what they see, and it's important to have quality photos to represent your property in the best way possible.
Is there anything else that your company specializes in, Shalina?
Yes, we do headshots, weddings, events, and portraits as well, and we serve all of the Metro Detroit area.
Great. So give Leo Sage a call to get the best image for your beautiful homes. Now, during this segment, you're going to see some beautiful homes that are investment pieces. Some of the homes are vacant, some of the homes are already rented. So take a look and give us a call, and we'll share with you exactly how you can be an investor in this market. So Craig Lesko with National Realty Centers, you have been in the real estate business for many years. So the market is really hot right now in Detroit Metro and surrounding areas. Tell us why it's such a great buyer's market right now.
On the buyer side, in my opinion, it's a great time to buy. And well, and actually I'm practicing what I preach. I'm in the process of buying a home and moving myself. But interest rates are still at a historic all-time low, depending on your credit score, the mortgage program that you choose. Your interest rate is going to be somewhere between 4 and 4.5%. Actually, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the Mortgage Bankers Association, and the National Association of Realtors, they do their quarterly projections.
Okay.
And I was just looking at that the other day, and all four of them across the board are projecting between 4.2 and 4.6% on the interest rates,
wow.
which is
wow, that's phenomenal.
which is really good. Yep.
Yeah, that's great. So that means you're going to get into a house paying so much less. You know, I mean, I remember when the interest rates were 5 and 6 and 7%, and now 4.5, 4.2. That's incredibly impressive. And I know certain banks. Based on referrals, I know some of your agents have said they've got 0 down programs or even 600, 625 FICO scores, which is pretty impressive. So, but so the economy is being stimulated by buyers.
Yes.
What about the seller's market? Where are we at with that?
The seller's market is good, but if you're thinking about selling, now's the time. And again, I'm practicing what I'm preaching. I'm selling now. I think it's the perfect time to sell. And the reason for that, homes in metropolitan Detroit over the past 12 months have actually appreciated by 3.8%, which is good.
Yes.
But the other thing that's happening right now is our inventory is finally starting to increase. In May of last month, our inventory in metropolitan Detroit increased by just over 5%, which I know might not sound like a lot, but it is. That's the most it's increased in a long time.
Yeah.
And they're projecting that we're going to be moving from a seller's market to a buyer's market.
Okay.
And what that means is the inventory is going to continue to increase, and once it gets to about 6 months of inventory, then supply and demand is going to balance. And then at that time, it's probably going to take sellers a little bit longer to sell their home. They're not going to probably get a lot of the situations right now where you list a home on a Thursday or Friday, you have 20 showings over the weekend, 8, 9 offers on Monday.
Yeah.
And a lot of the buyers are paying over the appraised value right now, where when the market balances out and there's an equal amount of buyers for sellers, the sellers aren't going to, be able to demand such a high price.
So if you're thinking about buying, if you're thinking about selling, now is the time. Not only are the banks giving away phenomenal loans, so it's in a very easy market to get into an actual transaction, but just as Craig just stated, the actual selling of your house can go just like this. So if you're really thinking about it, now's the time to give us a call. So, Craig, kind of wrapping it up, what would you say to the person that's thinking about, making a move right now? What would be your final thoughts?
To call Natalie immediately, to put down the remote, pick up your phone and give Natalie a call, schedule a time to sit down and talk.
Yeah.
That would be, that would be.
Well,
the first
thank you
step-
for that.
step
I
number one.
appreciate that for
Yeah.
sure, definitely. Well, we're really excited. Craig Lesko is an awesome broker and he can do a lot of great things for you. So if you're an agent or if you're in the market, give us a call. We're going to help you. We can help fulfill your needs in your home buying process. I'm here with Leo Sage Images, the owner, Shalina Cole, and she's going to tell us why it's so important to have professional images on your beautiful homes.
People buy what they see, and it's important to have quality photos to represent your property in the best way possible.
Is there anything else that your company specializes in, Shalina?
Yes, we do headshots, weddings, events, and portraits as well, and we serve all of the Metro Detroit area.
Great. So give Leo Sage a call to get the best image for your beautiful homes. All right, so I'm so excited in this segment to have co-owner Charles Surgison from Bicentennial Title Work. He's going to tell us a little bit about why title is so important to buying your home. All of the elements of making sure that you have a very clear, easy transaction are wrapped up in your title work. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
And you just shared with me a ton of information about why title work is so important. So why should a buyer be so concerned with the title work?
Well, from a buyer's standpoint, when this is probably the most expensive transaction they'll ever handle in their life, they want to make sure that the property they're purchasing is going to be their property. They're buying it from the owner of the property that's supposed to be selling it to, and any and all past encumbrances from this owner and previous owners are handled so that they don't have any issues down the line when they go to refinance or sell their property.
And when you mention encumbrances, Charlie, you're talking about past owners and interest in the actual title work.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Could be judgment liens, could be mortgages, could be state and federal tax liens that were against those previous owners that were not taken care of. Those encumbrances should be taken care of in a normal transaction where a buyer is receiving the property in a transaction.
Now, I know with most, when it comes to buying a property, everybody's so excited. And, as a realtor, the biggest concern is obviously the details of the home itself. Now, the actual mortgage company deals with a lot of the details with the title work. When it comes to looking at the title and make sure that there are no encumbrances, is this part of the realtor's responsibility, or is that more so the loan officer?
Well, it's twofold,
Okay.
right? Because there are two policies that are in most transaction. When there's a purchase being done with a mortgage, the lender wants to make sure that the title is clear so that they have clear title to the property, so they have a first lien position.
Okay.
The lender's always looking for a first lien position, so when they're loaning the purchaser the money, they can make sure that if in fact the buyer defaults, they have the ability to foreclose on that mortgage to take that property back if
Okay.
necessary.
Okay.
So they're looking for a first lien position. Whereas with the owner, they're looking for clear title. They want to make sure the previous owners of that property and any of their liens or encumbrances, which are mortgages, judgment liens, are taken off title and they have clear title.
Okay.
Starting when they take the closing. Going forward, it's their mess that they create, if you want to call it.
Okay. So they call the title the actual title insurance. Why do you call it an insurance policy?
It's a policy because obviously if there's a lien or encumbrances that, affects the buyer or the lender after the fact, that policy, either the buyer or the homeowner now or the mortgage company can file a claim against that policy, just like a life insurance policy, like a car insurance policy. If there's an issue that happens, they go back to the insurance company and file a claim against the policy. Same thing holds true to form with the title insurance policy.
Okay.
If that buyer realizes that there's a lien that wasn't taken care of from the previous owner, and that lien holder comes back and is looking to take that property back from them, we as the title company and our underwriter goes to court to protect their interest and either go to court to protect it and or have to pay off that lien if necessary.
Okay. Now, during this segment, you're going to see some beautiful homes that are investment pieces. Some of the homes are vacant, some of the homes are already rented. So take a look and give us a call, and we'll share with you exactly how you can be an investor in this market. I know that you've got locations in the whole Tri-County.
Correct.
From Northville to Plymouth to Livonia and,
Birmingham.
and, the whole west part of the southern
Sure.
half of this state, really.
Yes.
So tell us, when it comes to the actual research of the title work, I hear this terminology because I have a lot of clients that do what's called, they go to the tax auction and they buy these houses, and a couple years later they want to say, I'm ready to sell, Natalie, what are we going to do? But I've got some situations on the title work. How do we handle that?
Well, with the tax title situation, that is where a homeowner has failed to make their tax payments for quite some time. And they're being notified as those years progress. And after 3 years, if they have not succumbed to paying their taxes, the state by statutes has the ability to start tax foreclosure. And that's where they can post it and then sell the property based on the delinquent taxes. Any investor, any buyer can come in and purchase that property through paying off the delinquent taxes through a tax sale.
So are you warranting that, or are you doing what's called a quick claim? How does that work?
Well, when it comes to issuing a title insurance policy with tax title, we always ask for a title, it could be a warranty deed,
Okay.
not a quick claim deed.
Okay.
A warranty deed allows us the ability to go back, since we're insuring that buyer, we want to be able to go back against the previous owner if in fact they did not give us misinformation. We can go back against them, whether it be a fraud situation or any other information that they failed to disclose to us. We can go back and sue them to defend our client, which is the insured party.
And that really is the important aspect of having a great title company to insure your title work, whether it's that kind of situation where you're buying and selling, investment properties where there may be some encumbrances and, you're trying to handle how to do that. You want to make sure that you actually get it reviewed and have an actual warranty.
Absolutely.
So, what's the difference when I hear a lot of clients say, well, what's a quick claim deed? Tell me what is a quick claim deed?
Well, there are numerous types of deeds. We typically deal with quick claim deeds and warranty deeds. Quick claim deeds are just a deed that conveys title interest to another party, right? That means they're signing a document, conveying over to Natalie, I'm conveying my interest to Natalie, and at this time, it's your property. Now, with that quick claim deed, it does not allow you as the purchaser or the recipient of the deed to come back and file a claim against me if I, again, did not give you all the pertinent information to make an educated decision to go through with this thing. So with a warranty deed, if I deeded the property to you and there are title issues that I did not disclose, this allows you as the buyer to come back and sue me against the warrants of my deed to perfect that or correct that problem in the chain of title.
I see, I see.
Most title companies are always looking for a quick claim, excuse me, my apologies, a warranty deed to make sure that they have the ability to go back on the seller if they did not give proper information.
So you mentioned I see. So it's really important to make sure that your title work is actually in accordance to the area that you're buying the home.
And what you're wanting to use it for.
Okay. Okay. So, you know, Charlie, tell me what the most important things as far as a seller or a buyer, what would be the most pertinent things regarding the title work? Because so much of this is left up to the loan officer. What, as a buyer, as a consumer, should an individual really looking out for?
Well, Natalie, I think the first thing you should do is always look at the exceptions portion. And I don't want to beat a dead horse on that one, but it's very important that you look at the exception. And then secondly, when you're getting the title insurance commitment, you should look and see the contract that I'm writing up with the prospective seller. Is the seller showing up on title to the property? Because all too often, we'll do a title search, and that seller that you've entered into a contract with is not the title holder to the property.
I see.
So that can create a huge issue.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not going to buy a property from somebody that doesn't own the property.
Right.
And that could be a time constraint because the buyer may have a certain time frame that they have to move into their new home. And if that title holder and that seller don't match, it could be a long time in trying to get title resolution to that so that that actual person that signed the purchase agreement with you
Okay.
can now be in a position to sell and convey title.
Okay.
It may be time constraints that now affect your buyer's ability to move into a home on a timely basis.
I see. Okay. So last question, and that is, you know, in the state of Michigan, dowry rights. We hear now, you know, can my husband go out and buy or sell property without my knowledge? Can I go out and buy property,
Correct.
sell it without my husband's knowledge? How does that work now in the state of Michigan? Because that comes up quite frequently.
Well, a new law was passed about a year and a half ago that now did away with dower rights.
Okay.
Dower rights were a situation where a woman in a marriage would retain partial ownership in the property, have an interest in the property. So a man could go out and buy a property. If he was a married man, his wife would have an interest in the property, and she would have to deed off or convey her title interest in the property when he was ready to sell the property. Now that has changed. A man and or a woman can go out and buy a piece of property in their name, and at that point, that person, that man or woman who bought the property, just has to deed the property over. No longer does the wife have to be involved with it,
Oh.
or a man have to be, or a husband be involved with it. So right now, it's
Based on individual.
well, when you say based on individual, I guess
If they're a married couple, but it's not necessarily.
well, if they're a married couple, he can buy a piece of property in his name,
Okay.
and she has no interest in the property. So when
Okay.
he goes to sell the property, it's just him signing off.
Okay.
And conversely, the same thing with a woman.
I see.
If she's married and she's got her name on the property by herself, it's just her at the closing table taking care of that.
Okay.
So no dower rights anymore for the ladies out there.
Okay. Okay. I'm here with Leo Sage Images, the owner, Shalina Cole, and she's going to tell us why it's so important to have professional images on your beautiful homes.
People buy what they see, and it's important to have quality photos to represent your property in the best way possible.
Is there anything else that your company specializes in, Shalina?
Yes, we do headshots, weddings, events, and portraits as well, and we serve all of the Metro Detroit area.
Great. So give Leo Sage a call to get the best image for your beautiful homes. Well, I'm here with Craig Lesko with National Realty Centers, and Craig has been very, very informational about telling us about why it's a great time to buy, why it's a great time to sell. But there's one other thing I want to kind of touch bases with you about, and that is you just discussed a kind of a renovation loan, which is really exciting, where you walk into a lot of properties and they need work, they need help, they need a little major or minor fixer-upper, and there's a way to get things done in the mortgage process without coming out of pocket for it.
Exactly. I actually call it the fixer-upper loan.
Okay.
It's the same concept as the show Fixer-Upper with Chip and Joanna, to where maybe you're a buyer and you're interested in the home, but it needs a new kitchen, or maybe it needs a new basement, or maybe it needs both. And in a typical situation, the buyers will settle, they'll just end up buying the home. 2 years later, they'll do the kitchen. 2 years later, they'll do the basement. And then 2-3 years later, they sell the home. But
Okay.
this program actually allows them to purchase a home, do the kitchen, do the basement, do whatever renovations they want to do up front.
Wow.
Then they can enjoy the home the way they want it right from the start, and then sell it 7, 8, 10 years down the road for that much more money. So
That's
it's a
awesome.
really, really
That's
slick
awesome.
program.
That's
Yep.
an awesome program. So right now, if you are thinking about buying, if you're thinking about selling, if you've even just kind of dabbled in the consideration of it during this season, call the number. We can help you. National Realty Centers, we're very much so interested in helping you fulfill your real estate dreams. I hope you enjoyed today's program. There's been a lot of great homes. We've got a lot to offer, and also some open houses coming up. So I hope to meet you in the next coming months and help you invest in a beautiful property all your own.